All right. We're going to continue with our media availabilities. We've now been joined by Josh Berry, who also just happens to be a little bit of a hometown star here in Nashville. So, Josh, we appreciate you spending some time with us, running the truck race this evening and running the Xfinity race tomorrow. So feel free to ask him questions related to both races. We're going to start with questions. If you have one, raise your hand, and we'll get started. We'll start with Bob and then go to Tucker.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. I have a couple. First off, how are you feeling about just like your overall schedule after this week? This is your last Xfinity race for the most part, and I don't know how many truck races you have.
Yeah, I don't know. Going forward, it's a little, questionable, I guess. Obviously, this is my last race in the 8. Working on, potentially running a couple more races for Jordan in the Xfinity car, and then racing for Rackley War in the truck at Pocono at Pocono, and hopefully some more going forward. There's a lot of uncertainty, I guess, for what I have going on, but I think I think we've done a pretty good job this year, and could have been better, but still did a pretty good job.
And right now, are you focused more on trying to find rides for this year, or are you trying to get things settled for 2022?
Well, I feel like the beginning of the season went well enough for me that I think it's just so hard to find rides in the middle of the season without situations, creating opportunities like the deal with Rackley here. So, realistically, next year is a good option. I hope to run as many Xfinity and truck races as I can the remainder of the season. I'm still a member of our late model program at Junior Motorsports. I have some responsibilities there that I need to fulfill and partnerships that we have there. So we're just going to kind of take it week by week and see what happens.
All right. We'll go to Rachel, and then Kayla. Go ahead.
Hi. So my question is, what's it like seeing NASCAR in your hometown region? Like, how does that make you feel, and how much do you want this race?
No, I definitely do. I mean, I want all of them, but this one's pretty special. I grew up coming to races here when I was a kid, and watched many races here from the stands, and got to experience that. So it's definitely an exciting weekend. The place looks great. Hopefully we have a ton of fans here each race this weekend, and it's going to be special. Each race that I'm in is kind of special for different reasons. I think. As for the truck race, this is Rackley Roofing's home. They're putting a huge emphasis. I mean, they have a huge presence here at the racetrack, and obviously running a two-kart effort this weekend. I mean, this is an important race to them, so we obviously want to get a good finish for that. And then on the Xfinity side of things, it's my last one with that group, so it's a little bittersweet. Even though I'm at home, it's a little different feeling knowing that that's going to be my last time opportunity with them. So obviously want to do a good job for that group and end on a high note. Thank you.
All right, Kayla, go ahead.
Hey, Josh, when it comes to, racing for Willie Allen, and that's also a guy from right here in Middle Tennessee, I'd assume you guys have had some talks. So what has that been like this week?
Yeah, it's great. Willie's, I grew up watching Willie race himself at the fairgrounds, and I think me and him have known each other really since I was a kid. And so to be able to, that was kind of what I think helped put us all together. And, it's obviously a great opportunity for me. I really have a ton of respect for Willie. When I grew up, like I said, growing up, he was my favorite. I mean, I'm not going to lie. So it really means a lot to race for him. And we had a good run at Texas. We want to keep doing that this weekend. Like I said, this is a big week for them. All
right, Lee, go ahead.
Does it ever get old having Dale Jr. as your biggest cheerleader?
No, he's obviously been a huge supporter of mine. We've had accomplished a lot of things together. I think this year was kind of unknown going into this opportunity. I think we accomplished a lot of things with the late model program. I think he was he was really the reason why I got this opportunity and in the Xfinity car. So I think to be able to win and have a couple second place finishes and doing well as we have, I think it's really excited him. So. I'm just trying to keep doing a good job. Each and every week is a new experience for me. Without practice, luckily this week we get some practice, but every week is a new track and a new. You kind of start from square one, and we've had some ups and downs in our season, but overall I think it's went pretty well.
GMS announced earlier today that Doug Coby's going to get a shot with them at Bristol. And when you think about your situation, Doug's situation, David Gravel ran for them last year. You kind of feel like Cinderella when you jump into that car. I mean, not that you didn't have your own notoriety. I mean, Doug's a 6-time champion, but you know, when that opportunity comes to you and you think about the thousands of kids that, you know, are in a similar position to you that never get that shot, does it kind of feel like you're Cinderella when you get that opportunity and you finally can get on a stage of that caliber?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's definitely such a unique situation. I mean, the reality of it is I've been a member of Junior Motorsports, an employee of them for 10 years before I got here. That's a long time, and it just, like, we just kind of grinded it out. I mean, I never thought that I would get this opportunity. I mean, maybe Dale or somebody else had more of a, saw more for me than I did for myself. But really, I had accepted the fact that I was going to be a career short track racer. And so for me, it was about trying to accomplish things in that arena that I wanted to accomplish before, ultimately I have to quit racing. And then this opportunity comes about, and your mindset changes. I mean, obviously, I feel very lucky to get the opportunity, and that's created a ton more opportunities for me. I mean, I never would thought I would have, be racing trucks and Xfinity, and I ran a Cup race this year and ARCA race, and been very fortunate to gather all those opportunities. But I'm trying not to overthink the situation that I'm in, because I want to capitalize on each day and each opportunity, and hopefully be around for a long time.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right. Tucker, we have another question.
Tucker White, last word on sports. Josh, during the Goodyear tire test here back in March, their tires were according after 20 to 25 laps. And given that at some tracks with much more abrasive surfaces, we don't always see this. What exactly causes tires to accord like we saw during a tire test?
I think it's just a number of factors. I think one, that this track hasn't been ran on in years. So it's obviously green. I'm sure they had to do some sort of preparation or power washing, cleaning of the surface to get it prepared. And that just makes the surface really abrasive. Really, the cording of the tires, I just don't think it was really as big of a deal as what was made out. I mean, if you go test at an Atlanta or Darlington on a green track, you're going to cord tires in 10 laps. So, I mean, I think it's the same for everybody. Hopefully they wear out. The more they wear, the better.
All right, thank you.
All right, Stephen?
Stephen Toronto, CBS Sports. Josh, being a local of this area, there's been so much interest around the Fairgrounds Speedway as well as the reopening of this speedway. From a race fan and also from NASCAR's perspective, how much of a challenge do you think it is for the two tracks to have a symbiotic relationship where race fans don't necessarily have to choose between one or the other, or NASCAR doesn't have to choose between putting one or the other on the schedule?
Man, I don't know. I mean, that question I feel like is a little bit over my head. I mean, obviously you want to see people stay on the same page, but the Fairgrounds is a great racetrack. It's very historic. It has a lot of history. I think there's a lot of people that want to see NASCAR back there, but the reality of it is that it's going to take a lot of money to prepare the facility like it needs to be, and this place was just sitting here, obviously pretty ready to go. So. All in all, I think this is a positive move, having NASCAR here. And like I said, the best thing we can offer or hope is that the fans pack each race, and not just this race, but the coming years. And I think if we can do that, we'll see plenty of racing here around Nashville.
Thanks, Josh.
Yep.
All right, and then we had a follow-up question from Bob up front.
I was just wondering, do you and Willie Allen talk about your situation a lot? Because I assume he sees a lot in his history of racing with you, as far as him getting a few shots in Xfinity and just not kind of finding that right one that could launch him.
Yeah, I think so. I think he sees the simulators in me, and like I said, we've known each other for a long time, and that's what's so hard about these opportunities nowadays. I mean, it almost takes a little bit of that emotional connection between the owner and the driver to make the decision to go with a guy like me. You see that with me and Dale. You see, I think that you take that with me and Willie, and connecting with Curtis, our owner of Rackley Roofing, and kind of putting that together. I mean, that's real. That's a connection that's real, and it helps put people together. And I think you see, like Lee mentioned, the situation with Doug, right? I assume that I haven't seen that a lot. I mean, I know of Doug Kobe. He's a great race car driver. I don't know how that situation come about, but I assume that Mike Beam was around him at that race and saw the type of racer that he is, right? And I think that's what maybe that series and other series can spotlight, is that there are great racers at this level that are deserving and willing and excited and want to do this. And just sometimes it's hard to get your foot in the door without a sponsor or some sort of funding. I mean, I think a lot of times people just don't even think about you, really, is the best way to put it. So anything that you can do to gather that attention, like that situation. I mean, we saw Doug basically forfeited his season to go run that race, and that's because he just wanted the opportunity to do it. I mean, I don't think he never knew that it would turn into what it was, but you never know. I mean, Doug very well could go win Bristol and then be the next Josh Berry that's getting all these opportunities.
All right. Any final questions? All right, Josh, before we let you go, being back in Middle Tennessee, is there any favorite restaurant or establishment you like to visit when you're in town?
Oh, I don't know. Me and my wife went to Arnold's. That was in downtown Nashville. We went there for lunch yesterday. That's a place we always like to hit. My dad owned a restaurant in Hendersonville as I was a kid. That was like a meat and three type restaurant, so we like to hit a couple of those. But I don't know. Really, I haven't been able to get back here as much as I have. I mean, obviously, been extremely busy racing, but also have a year-and-a-half-year-old at home that's keeping us very busy right now. So hopefully we can start making it back here and see more of our family.
All right. Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us, and best of luck this weekend.
Yep. Thank you all.